Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to talk about why a stall is where the real muscle growth starts. Before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. All right, so I've covered a little bit in the last week about, when things get tough after that first beginner gain stage, that's when the real work starts and that's when the real payoff starts. And I had a couple clients reach out to me and say, hey, I thought it sounded like you were speaking almost to me directly. And I want to stress this message to you guys that there is a point in your training where it's going to feel like things slow down or things are starting to stall. And that's where the real muscle growth, that's where the real difference-making time begins, and let me explain and cover that. I mentioned this earlier in the week, that beginner gains, generally the first 10 pounds of muscle are real easy. You just got to get into the gym with consistency, have a consistent diet, set up for a pound and a half month of weight gain, and use progressive overload. You're going to see beginner gains. But at some point, and this is a point that needs to be stressed, at some point during the beginner gains, things are going smoothly. You're adding weight every week. You're adding reps every workout. Things are feeling great. Things are feeling awesome. You feel invincible, and you also gain the expectation that this pattern of adding weight and adding reps every workout or every week is going to continue, but it's not. It's not going to continue. It's going to slow down rapidly. In fact, the further along that path you get, the more they slow down. That's just normal life. That's just normal human physiology. You can't just continue along that pattern and get to a 1,000-pound deadlift. It's just not the way things work. But after that point, that initial stage, that initial BG, beginner stage, beginner gain stage is done, you're going to start to feel like you're stalling. Hey, I'm only adding a rep or two every month on bench. Hey, I only added 1 rep on squats, right? That's when the real work begins for muscle growth, right? That's when the last 20 pounds are built. Because one thing you need to understand, you are not stalling. What got you through the first 10 pounds of muscle on the beginner gain stage is going to get you through the rest. You have to remain patient and understand that you need to keep fighting for your plus ones. You need to keep fighting in the gym safely and wisely for those plus ones. Because let's say you go into the gym with a 95-pound bench press for 4 reps, and I use that reference because that's where I started, and you get it up to 165 by 4. And you packed on 10 pounds of muscle, you're going along really well, confidence is high, and then over the course of the next 4 months, you only add 1 to 2 reps a month, and you feel like things are slowing, right? You're at like 170 for 8 after 4 months, and you're like, man, I really hit a wall. This is where it begins, where you start to feel like you're stalling, where you feel like you're stalling. Honestly, or obviously, when we look at the math, the hard math, we realize we're still adding reps each month. They're just a lot more slow. We're adding them more slowly than they were before. So we have the perception of stalling. When you reach that point of the perception of stalling, where you feel like things have slowed down and you've hit some kind of a wall, you have to remember, this is where I am going to start building the last 20 pounds of muscle that matter the most. So you remind yourself of that, and you tell yourself, this is where I really need to dig in. I don't need to fuck around and change programs. I don't need to fuck around and change exercises. I don't need to fuck around and do any bullshit. What I need to do right now is trust in the process and know that adding 1 to 2 reps on each lift a month over the next 2 years, 3 years, is going to add 20 pounds of muscle. It's going to take me from mediocre strength to a bulldozer, a beast, a monster. It's going to get you closer to your natural potential. So you started out in the gym at 95 by 4 on bench, and you got it to about 165 by 4, and you added that 10 pounds of muscle. And you're in that grind stage. You feel like you're stalling, right? And you're only adding 1 to 2 reps a month on your big lifts. But the next 2 years, you're going to take that 165 by 4, and that's going to go up to 315 by 5. You're going to come out at the end of that with a lot more muscle. That's where the hard work begins. That's where most people quit at that point. That's where most people develop fuck-around-itis and program hopping and bullshit because they think they are stalling. So the take-home point, when you reach that point where you think you're stalling, your beginner gains are done, you think you're stalling, the perception of stalling is done, or the perception of stalling is there, you need to analyze your math. You need to realize that you need to continue with your effort, consistent nutrition, and that the 1 to 2 reps you're adding to each lift per month, they're going to add up. But as they add up over the course of the next 2, 3, and 4 years, that chase right there is going to add the last 2/3 of your muscle. And that's where most people quit. And this is where I want you to just stop fucking around, dig in, train safely, train wisely, listen to your body, and chase that strength. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.